Hi guys, Spink here. This is episode 15 of Let's Play Kerbal Space Program. Um, Added a new mod. It's called the Final Frontier mod, and it adds ribbons. Ribbons can be given to your Kerbals when they complete various missions, and these guys are pretty much ribbon happy. And they get a ribbon for pretty much everything after they get up in the morning. So it's kind of funny seeing what all they get. They get ribbons for. So I've been running a few missions here, just the little bread and butter ones to take apart and go splash him down and whatnot to build up the resource or science points here. So I've got enough stuff unlocked science-wise to make proper satellites, communication satellites. And I got to looking at this and thinking that this thing I spent so much time building here, it's of very limited use actually, because of the antennas I put on these things are all being used to keep this communication with these other satellites. So it works really good for these individual satellites to stay in command, but it's not terribly useful for keeping anything else I have in command, in contact with the with Kerbal, Kerbin. So I have to basically redo it. And I think what I'm going to do is use the shorter range 1,000 kilometer antennas and bring this thing in maybe 750 kilometers out in an orbit, and have about 4 of them in a constant orbit going around here, so there'll always be at least one of these things in contact with Kerbin, and they'll also be of use since they're not going to use those antennas that directly point at things to have to keep things in command. So what that is going to let me do is all the satellites I launch subsequently are going to be able to go out and do shallower orbits and are always going to be in command. So that's what I need to do with that. And the first thing I'm going to do is, this is actually an orbital. I'm doing an orbital mission just to get some science. It's testing out a few parts, but it does have unique in that I'm taking 2 Kerbals with me. I'm using this little K2 K2 command pod, and taking 2 Kerbins up, 2 Kerbals on, yeah. Okay, so anyway, so hopefully I'll not screw this up. Let me see, make sure I got, this guy's on a suborbital. This guy is in orbit, this guy is in orbit, so that's what I'm going to have to suborbital. Okay, one of the things I've done is I'm using these larger solid rocket boosters, and I've put parachutes on the sides of them. And I don't believe they'll actually deploy. I think that only happens when you're actually on the ones you're actively flying. But this construction type mod does take that kind of step into account and will possibly let me recover these guys. So we'll see how that goes. So hopefully I don't completely screw this up. Make sure, yep. Actually, before I do this, let me make sure I got all my mods set up properly, because I keep screwing that up. Yeah, I had this screwed up. I've been installing them and uninstalling them, and it's just been kind of a bear getting everything set up properly. What do we got here? That's set up properly. Okay. This, let's put that on hard, because why not? This I don't think I need to do anything with. This I don't know what to do with. This is the first time I've got 2 Kerbals going with this life support mod too, so I don't remember. I think I can do EVAs now. I'm not sure. I'll have to see. Okay, so we have this on. We have our throttle set. We can kill Bob and Jeb all in one go if we do this right. Alright. I found that adding fins to my rockets greatly increases their stability in the atmosphere, as you would think it would. So that has helped me quite a bit with my rockets flipping over, which doesn't mean that I don't do that anymore. It just means that I don't do it as often. Thrust to weight ratio, let's get him at least up above 0. It's always nice. Put the caps lock on so that it goes in smaller jumps. First. First thing I have to do is the stack decoupler. PRV, oh, I got that on top, okay. Fly very good, you may have noticed. Let's get this keeled over quite a bit more. Jumps right there when we hit the orbital. Alright, so we need to get up to about 75, I think, with this guy. Call it good. Okay, let me see where that's orbit. That's that. So we need, actually we need up about 85. So let's keep bringing him up. Oh, he's got to be at that altitude, but that doesn't need to be necessarily my final altitude. Got it. Good enough right there. Okay. Bring this down. Okay, so test that, and that are what? That are these. You know, let's bring those down there, so we'll do everything all in one fell swoop. Oh shoot, I'm too high already, aren't I? Oh, I haven't, oh, am I doing it right? Yep, let's just hit it. Alright, so that one's done. Kind of wasted some of my gas there, but we'll have that. Now we need to be in an orbit, then we'll take care of these guys. And hopefully I won't get any of the guys killed. I have to see if I can actually re-enter. I changed the re-entry, the deadly re-entry setting to hard. And then I'm going to go with re-entry of a capsule that I've never done before, so that should be fun. Okay, these need to be once we're in orbit, okay. Alright, here we go. And as soon as basically when those flip, that'll be our orbit. 89, 99. just fine. Alright, now we can test the small gear bay, which I embedded in the fuel tank, as you often do. Bing. Okay, there's that guy done. So what have we got here? We've got 41 science from that and 60 science from testing those engines. I'm actually going to shut down these guys. Not that I actually need them. Alright, next we have to bring our orbit down to about 75K to get that one in. I don't think it really matters where I'm at, but I'll do it over here at the apoapsis. That's a bit much. 75. What were we at before? 80. 76. Boy, that's a tiny little window I have to get in there. Well, actually, I don't have to get it that bad. Just as long as I'm over that. And now I'm going to actually have that window that I'm going to come into somewhere around in there. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. Life support seems to be working properly. That's always a plus. Battery power could be using a little. I should have brought a little more battery power, I'm thinking. Alright, so I need to accelerate to the node. And then I've got to get these guys down and design some new communication satellites. I did get quite a bit of science, though, and money building those satellites because I was able to use the contracts there to place those satellites, and I did get quite a bit of experience with how to drive the things. I mean, if you recall, the first few attempts were a bit of a fiasco, I guess is the proper term in the Italian. Okay, so it's close enough here. Alright, and that puts that right at 74. That's good. So now we'll just zoom ahead until the orbit comes down to within that range. And then that's this. Make sure I do the right one, because if I do the wrong one, we'll be stranded in orbit, and that would be poor. Okay, so let's just do this. Oh, I suppose I ought to go back to here so I can sort of pay attention to what I'm doing. Because that's just a tiny little window. Alright, so we're currently at 77, and that goes down to 74. So anytime basically in here, it should be low enough. We're getting pretty close. Speed it up again. There we go. Now what were we doing? We were going to test the stack decoupler by staging it. Okay. And we're in the dark, which is just the way we want it to be. Alright, that's done. We can do EVAs too, so let's get back to this and get over to the bright side. Oh, about right there. You know what? I don't see any grab holds on this thing. Any little handles. I'm going to not do this until I'm sure that I can get back in there, because that would be less than good. Okay, so we're going to come back around to about right here. Let's see, about right like that, and bring the periapsis down to 20's been working out real well for me. Right there, that's 21, that's probably close enough. 20. Okay, and that's only a 4-second burn.
Hi, Cecily.
Okay. So, let's see. Oh! No, okay, I'm gonna come back around. I thought I spaced it out. Okay, now hopefully I don't kill these guys, because that would be, let's see, this little fuse box does actually tell me some good stuff. Keep that open, actually. Alright, close enough. Let's get this guy on the node. Okay. Are we still in the dark? We're still in the dark. That's not good watching. Bring him out here. Alright, so that's close enough. Alright, down to 20. So, conceivably, this is going to bring me down here, and the atmosphere will slow him down somewhere within here, far enough that he'll drop down in this general area. That's the plan. Alright, let me just fast forward him until we get at least into the daylight. Once he hits a certain height, it'll kill the time warp. There we go. Alright. So we're going to keep the well, I guess there's no reason to keep the stage. I'm going to aim down before I jettison it. That is down, right? Yes. So that it doesn't stay in my path at all, where I would potentially run into it. Alright. What else do we have left? What is this? Oh, that's that little stack decoupler. I guess I just had it set in such a way that it stays here. Where'd he go? There he is. Alright. So we should see this start going down. Right, see, as we're hitting the atmosphere now, that's slowing him down, so that's going to make our periapsis drop. And as we get more and more into the drag, that'll eventually pull us in. Right, we don't need that up anymore. 72 for that stack decoupler. And then once I get my satellite system rebuilt, then I'm going to put a satellite around the moon, and I need to devise a way to be able to communicate with that satellite, and then that satellite will communicate with whatever vessels are going to be exploring the moon. That's the plan anyway. Let's see if we can bring this up. Alright, I think we're doing good. Oh, we're really starting to get fast here. Alright, what ablative shielding here is what I want to be looking at. split, turn off split. He shouldn't have split. Okay, so, and also what we can do is right click on there, and we'll have the temperature being displayed from the deadly reentry mode. And we are burning through our battery power just a bit, holding him steady. Not too bad. What's LS? Life support. Okay. Oh, this doesn't need to be open. There. Starting to. Not yet. Our temperature's starting to come up now. How's everybody doing? Oh, they're concerned. Don't be concerned. I'm in command. There we go. Now we're going to see some temperature come up here. I don't know if in the stock game they're actually going to have the re-entry actually cause heat and potential damage, or if it's just going to continue just to be a visual thing. I think it makes it more interesting, certainly. They at least should make it an option, I would think. And we can also check the temperature of some of our other parts. See, those are coming up as well. Not as much as that is. Wonder where it looks like we're going to land. Oh, see, we're going to come in the water right over there. That's going to be good. Close enough to the Space Center to give us a good recovery return as far as the money goes. Assuming we don't burn up. And we're slowing down pretty good. So now if we were to come in a steeper ascent and go through a much smaller portion of atmosphere, I don't know what that does as far as heating goes. There's our other piece down there, but it would certainly not give us time to slow down to where we could use our parachutes, is my thought. So still coming up. Now, it's been my experience that as long as you get under 2,000, you're okay. But I don't know, I haven't actually tried it with that. With this is now it's on hard, and I don't believe I've used that before. And what that necessarily means, presumably it's harder. Yeah, the temperature's already going down, so we've made it through there. I'm going to turn off the SAS, which I think I could have done quite a while ago. Alright, let me make sure my parachutes are set properly, because I always forget to do that. Set by altitude, 20,000. Yeah, let's bring these up to 1,000. That's a bit high right there. Alright, copy to counterparts and close. That's all part of the RealChute mod that lets us do that. I'm going to pop the chute at 10,000, and they'll just be in drogue mode until they drogue. Is that right? Until they'll pop at 1,000. Sounds like he's speaking Spanish. All right, Bob, Jeb, you're okay. Okay, so I just thought with this mission here that I'd better record it on the off chance that I got Bob and Jeb killed. So I haven't been recording all of these little missions where I'm just doing the grabbing science from doing parts and stuff. I'm not sure if that's due to the mission controller mod, or if that's part of stock doing the part tests. And these should pop at 1,000. Jeb, Bob is still concerned. Bob, it's okay. You're gonna get ribbons. Chicks dig ribbons, Bob. Alright, speed up here. Bob is still concerned. This, of course, this was Bob's first mission total. I mean, he went from complete neophyte to orbit and re-entry in a mostly untested capsule, so it's good to be concerned, Bob. Well, Bob, what do you think? Pretty good, huh? Alright, I've already got all of the science from down here, so we'll just recover him. But I also wanted to show off this Final Frontier mod. That's another reason I wanted to record this one. See, okay, so Jeb just got the Mach 4 ribbon for flying horizontally at Mach 4 below 30,000 meters. He got the first Kerbal orbit ribbon. He got the first Kerbal in space ribbon. And he got the 10% solid fuel booster ribbon, awarded when launching with solid fuel booster at 10% of a ship's mass. Now Bob got some of the same ones, but he's got some new ones. The scientific service ribbon, the splashdown ribbon. He got the Mach 4 and the first Kerbal orbit shared with Jeb. First Kerbal in space. Good job, gentlemen. And we got no science, but we're up to 234 science, so we're going to be able to get some good stuff out of there. Nearly $1 million in funding now. Bob got an experience point and advanced to level 1, so he's our scientist. I have never actually had the scientist there we go. I've never actually had the scientist or anybody other than the pilot have a level. So he gives us 105% science return on missions that he's on, which isn't awesome, but you know. Okay, so what are we going to do with this science? Okay, if we do this, that'll let us do asparagus staging. Is there anything we really have to do our satellites? These smaller engines would be nice. But it wasn't the poodle I wanted. Now a lot of this stuff coming up in these nodes is a lot of this KAS stuff. That's the Kerbal attachment system. So I'm going to have to figure out what I'm supposed to do with those things. They're supposed to. It was suggested by the mission controller mod. It said that would make some of these more interesting. Now there's landers and chutes, monopropellant. But I'm going to get this. That'll give me the ability to do asparagus staging, which I'm going to need to do if I'm going to get anybody a little farther out. And I'm going to take heavy rocketry as well. And that's it. That's down to 54. We can bring up our deal. We got 2 upgrades. I think I'm going to put them, well, let me look here. Before I do that, how long is our tech taking? Tech's taking 5 days each. That's not too bad. So I'm going to continue to put the upgrades into the build time so that we can get things built more quickly. Okay, so I'm going to build some new satellites, and I'm not going to record me putting this second set of satellites up, because it's just going to be a duplicate of the first thing. hopefully with fewer screw-ups. I may record stuff anyway, just on the off chance that I screw something up. But if it goes smoothly, I won't upload it. But if I screw something up, that might be entertaining. So what do we have now? We actually have. Now, if I had started this from the beginning, these guys obviously would have a lot more missions and a lot more ribbons. But this is definitely a keeper as far as I'm concerned. This ribbons, the Final Frontier mod here. Okay, I suppose that's it for this episode. I'm gonna do the probably do the satellites offline, at least. Well, maybe the first one I won't, but all the other ones I will. There's no sense just having a bunch of duplicate missions there. So that's gonna be it for this episode. See you next time. Thanks for watching.